Nigerians are calling on the federal government to take into account the plights of the masses with a view to restructuring the entire system for the betterment of all. So far, so good. The country, which has produced great leaders from 1999 to date with many giant strides, pains and gains, is still faced with many challenges. As a nation with 22 years of democratic rule, how much have we fared?
I would rather say that we have not fared much better as expected. Reason is that knowing our trajectory through the military era and all of that up to 1999, I think that all the things we went through as a nation ought to have reshaped our thought, our level of patriotism and nationalistic tendencies. But rather than achieving that, we are going rather selfishly regional. And you can see ethnicity playing a major role in our national discourse. This time around, you can hear about insecurity. But the worst of all is the threat to freedom of speech and expression in this nation, which should ordinarily be the hallmark of democratic experience. As of today, I can't differentiate between a military dictatorship government and this democratic government.
As a matter of urgency, many are of the opinion that except to build a United Nations devoid of tribalism, political rancor, religious divide, rule of law, then we might have to return to the drawing board to get things right.
We should have a Nigeria that is truly a federal nation, where all the federating nations can compete and grow according to their own abilities and capabilities, not a unitary system, because Nigeria is so diverse that you cannot centralize everything from Abuja. No nation grows that way. The state government, the local government, every segment of the structure comes to Abuja and looks up to Abuja. We should have a nation where the three arms of government are indeed equal, carrying out their constitutional responsibilities. We should have a secular nation as conceived by our founding fathers, and not a nation that is divided along religious or ethnic lines.
I think first of all we should separation of power. Right now the National Assembly is just a puppet to the executive, and it's hindering, it's making us not enjoy what democracy is all about. For example, there is a Twitter ban that just happened. Normally it's supposed to be a law that is going to pass through the National Assembly, and the National Assembly is going to debate that and approve it, pass it into law. But now we see the Chief Justice just come out and say Twitter is banned in Nigeria, and the National Assembly, which is supposed to be the lawmaking arm of the government, is not even challenging that. So I think separation of power. I think also there should be checks and balances on the power each member of government has, and so that we won't have tomorrow Minister of Information coming out to ban radio stations since the AGF can ban Twitter or something like that.
With the spate of insecurity, kidnapping, banditry, agitation from all quarters, increase in poverty rates, economic instability and corruption, which is one of the main objectives of the present administration, Nigerians say the government still has a lot handful before confidence can be restored.
There's a whole lot to be done that we are not doing. Look at the issue of corruption. That Nigeria is still featuring in the World Index as one of the highest, whereas fighting corruption is one of the cardinal anchors of this present administration. We have corruption, we have the economy, and we have insecurity. But in these three areas, under this present administration and democracy, can you say that there is something for Nigeria to celebrate?
First of all, we need good government, most especially we have a lot of corrupt leaders. There's a lot of corruption going around. Like, we need, I don't know, we need rearrangement.
With so much achievement in infrastructural development, socio-economic gains, development in virtually all sectors, but more seems to be lagging behind, and Nigerians need a change as Nigeria celebrates another democratic year. It is hopeful that all hands must be on deck, with all actors playing their part so as to move the nation to greater heights. Samson Ovimoloye reporting for 24 News TV.